All right, it's raining, as you can hear. Birds Creek Music Festival. We got Phil and Zach of Town Mountain with me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're doing basically two shows tonight. We got a double set.
Yeah, we're doing 2 sets. We look at it, we got Logan Halstead playing in between us, so he's doing like a little tweener. And yeah, but excited for 2 nice sets tonight.
Yeah.
This rain will hold off.
Yeah, the one thing we can say is that the weather is at least bringing the temps down, so
We'll take that
I'm sure
any day.
I'm sure people are going to come out regardless, even in their rain gear, to watch the set tonight for sure. I'll be there. Won't be my first time getting rained on. But we got new music coming our way. October, right? The new
October
record?
7th, the new album comes out.
Okay.
We're stoked about it. You know, it's been a long time in the making. We had some sessions booked for this. Obviously, when COVID hit, and they had to get canceled and rescheduled, and we eventually made it happen. And look forward to getting these songs out to the world, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah. I was telling you earlier, I don't know, I probably heard it 5 times on the way to this festival, Lines on the Levee.
Yeah.
Great song. I like the drive
Thanks.
behind it.
Yep.
And then the change of speed up there towards the end.
Yeah.
It's a great song. You guys been at it for a long time. So.
Yeah, we've been at it for a minute. So this record's kind of a little bit of a departure for us rhythmically. We've kind of explored some new space and came up with some what we think is some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Let's back up though. When did Town Mountain actually form? Like, what was that whole process?
Well, the band kind of met in Asheville somewhere around 2005 or 6, and it kind of started out as just like, I wasn't in the band originally. I joined on about 2007 or 8, and just kind of progressed from being just a group of friends needing an excuse to go tour around in the summer to, like, you know, start to get some traction. More and more people started coming to the shows, and we were having so much fun doing it. It just kept going and going.
It's all fun and games, and it's like, wait a minute, people like what we're doing. Did you think it would actually take off like it has? I mean, you guys have got quite the following.
I mean, yeah, no, didn't think anything would take off, or, you know, that wasn't the expectation getting into it. It was just such a fun thing to do that, you know, we were all on the same page.
Nice. So, like you said, the new album is kind of a departure of, was it more rock influenced, less grassy, or kind of a good blend? What should we kind of...
Yeah, I would say it's probably more rock influenced. You know, this is the first time that we've really featured electric bass, which kind of gives it a bigger sound, as well as drums, like from the beginning. In other albums we've done, we've kind of like sprinkled in a snare drum here or there, but this one we kind of like, we sort of built it from the ground up with the drums, part of the process, and it became this bigger sound that we've never done before. So yeah, and it's got some rocking parts for sure, and a little bit of our, you know, honky tonk edge that we have on some of other albums, but maybe not as much grass.
Yeah. Well, that's great though, because, you know, give it a little change up. That will really make it more diverse for our live show.
Yeah, totally.
I get what you're saying now with the drums too. After thinking about all the different music you guys have brought to the table, this new single, it definitely has that. You can stand there and stomp to it. It's got that drive. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So, what would you say? Like, you've played a lot of places. Do you like playing festivals more so than a more intimate indoor type show? Because I would say in a festival environment, this is pretty small, kind of a niche deal, which makes it perfect for music lovers because you can get in close. There's a little bit less distractions, and not everyone's just out there partying 24/7 so hard. They can actually enjoy the music.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I like to be. I don't like these giant ones like, say, Bonnaroo or something like that. That's just a madhouse. You can't really get in there with the artists and feel the music at all.
And it's interesting, like a lot of those bigger festivals, you get like 10-minute changeover, right? So like you've got all your gear set up, and then you gotta like rush it on stage, and you know, hope that everything's plugged in like it's supposed to be, and then which it never is, and then you have a lot of the times like maybe a 50-minute slot, and by like minute 40, you're really feeling it, like you're really in the groove, and then they give you the 2-song warning, and you're like, oh man, you know, like, so I would say it, but at the same time, the most energetic crowds, which we inevitably feed off of, are oftentimes at festivals.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off.
That's got to be a natural high in front of a giant crowd, you
Definitely.
know,
Yeah.
even if it is
Yeah.
40, 50 minutes, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Make your
That's what you're searching for. That's what this is all about, man. It's the
Yeah.
connection and the transfer of energy from the band
Yeah.
to the audience to the band to the audience, and it builds into this really special moment. So yeah, you search for those, and festivals like this size, sometimes it's easier to cultivate that. And like you're saying, when you're separated by a 20-foot pit, and then like, I don't know. I like this size festival too, man. It's a good spot.
I guess they all have their pros and cons, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, I could see that. Where you're making changes, adjustments as the set goes on, then it's time to go.
Yeah.
Last song, you finally got your sound nailed down. It's time to get out.
Next.
Yeah.
So you guys are currently on tour. Where are you heading after this? What's the rest of the roadmap look like?
You know, we're kind of a little all over the place. We're kind of doing some long weekend stuff for the next couple months. So we'll be we're heading up to Abington, Virginia tomorrow from this spot, and then we'll be flying out to Utah for a festival. So we'll play Salt Lake and then play the festival, and then we'll fly back, and then we're playing our hometown in Asheville, Charleston, South Carolina. So it's kind of a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah.
And then we've got another strong run in the fall, going through some great towns like Cincinnati and Indianapolis, and then we'll be back going down to Texas in the fall. So
I'm stoked for that Texas run.
Texas is great
Yeah.
for everything, it seems like.
It is, man. Yeah.
it's been a minute since we've been down there, so I'm looking forward to it.
The music scene is a little different, but it's there and it's lively for sure.
Yeah.
Where are you playing at in Cincy? I visit there quite often.
Well, I guess technically it's Newport, but we're playing the Southgate House.
Southgate House,
Yeah.
since they redid it or whatever. Yeah, I've been there numerous times.
Yeah, I love that venue.
It's cool too. It's
Yeah.
a landmark, really, in
Yeah.
what they've done. Lots of good talent in and out of there.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't fully realize where you guys were actually located, Asheville.
Yeah.
I knew North Carolina area, but I didn't know. My parents had they almost moved there a while back, and I thought, I'm going to be spending a lot of time over here. So, and I know that the music scene there is pretty good.
It's crushing.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. North Carolina's got a couple hotbeds, Western North Carolina and the Chapel Hill, Durham area, but
Yeah.
Asheville kind of went through this renaissance of string bands, like for the last 10, 15 years. There's just tons of them forming, and everybody was kind of in this really cool community in Asheville. So
When I moved to Asheville for this gig, like 5.5, 6 years ago, there was a bluegrass jam every night of the week.
See, man,
and I was in
I'm about ready to move.
I was in hog heaven, man. I mean, it's
true,
just so
literally
cool.
every night of the week.
They've pared it down to probably 5 nights a week.
Yeah,
you get
that's
2
true.
nights off. There's not
Gotcha.
yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's so cool.
Indiana doesn't quite have that. Like
Not yet.
I'm like, I mean, there's some bluegrassers, and I have some little jam outs with some relatives and stuff, and they'll pick banjo. But clawhammer is an unheard of thing. Like what? I mean, it's there. There's a few people, but like in
Not a
general,
scene,
yeah, that's what I mainly like to get into as far as banjo goes. But yeah, I just wish it was like that. So I'm like, man, if I wasn't stuck here with my work or family, I'd be heading that way somewhere.
Yeah, we'll come visit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, at least visit for sure.
Yeah.
Catch some shows out that way. What else here? Now, somebody asked me, once I knew that you guys were going to be on the show, they wanted me to ask you, there's some particular song, I don't even remember now. I feel bad because they're going to want to know. It'll come to me in a minute. But.
Cool. Yeah, no worries.
So what were some early influences? Like, what did you grow up on, music-wise?
What did I grow up on music-wise? Well, I had an older sister who was way into the Stones and the Beatles, so I got a lot of that. My parents were big into like Simon and Garfunkel, and my dad had all the Paul Simon records, Graceland and all that. So I had a pretty eclectic musical upbringing, and then I kind of got into bluegrass late high school, early college age, and I saw a Del McCurry band play at a record store in my hometown.
Wow.
And
Awesome.
that was the first time I had seen bluegrass played at a really high level in person, and it just blew me away, man. I was like, I wanted to try to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so I got a mandolin, like, I guess the next, I don't know, 6 months later or something like that, and just kind of got some. And from Del McCurry, I found Bill Monroe, and I also got into Holding in the Way from the Grateful Dead. So I don't know, it's just kind of a lot of the usual suspects in that regard. But I would say seeing the Del McCurry band was what really got me into it.
Yeah, I'm sure for many folks.
For many folks,
Yeah,
man.
jeez.
What a force.
I can't wait to see him tomorrow. I've seen him a few times.
What a force, man. I'm sorry we're not going to be here for that.
Yeah.
He's still got it.
Yeah, I know. There's a guy like, and let's see, I'm like 30 minutes away from the Bluegrass camp, Bill Monroe's Bluegrass camp in Indiana.
yeah,
And they have it's the longest Bluegrass festival still going.
Yeah.
And guys like Dell would play, or meeting Ralph Stanley several times. Like Ralph was like one of my idols in the Bluegrass
Really,
world, and it was just an honor to see him play till long as he did, till he couldn't even really play anymore. He'd do like one song on the banjo, and he's like, I'm going to stay on this stage till the day I die. I don't care.
Yeah.
He sure
You know.
did, man.
So what about you, music-wise?
Yeah.
Same stuff or a little bit different?
I grew up. My dad is a banjo and guitar player,
Okay.
and so I grew up with like a lot of bluegrass and a lot of gospel. All my family on my dad's side played music, so I listened to them play all growing up. And then I grew up in Boone, North Carolina, so it's like 30 minutes away from Merlefest. So
perfect.
my parents took me to Merlefest every year. I like missed one when I was born because I was like 5 days old when Merlefest happened. I think
We'll excuse
They were
that
planning
one.
on bringing you.
Yeah,
We'll
I-
excuse that
I
one.
think my dad was salty about that, and then I missed one for my graduation in high school, and that was really it, man. But I didn't start playing until I was in high school, and like it's interesting that I gravitated towards bluegrass because whenever I came of age to make my own musical decisions, like what I liked, I really started liking the Dead, and I was during that time when like MGMT was real big and stuff, and like that indie music, Dr. Dog, so I like really loved that. But then I picked up the upright bass and like played that night with my dad, and I was like, oh, this is it, man.
That's your calling. You found it.
So I stayed in the orchestra, so they would let me borrow a bass, and I would just like take it to these jams around Boone and stuff. So it's kind of always been bluegrass and country though. For
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't know if you guys had anything off kilter. Like I grew up on hardcore punk and metal music. I was in a punk band as a bass player for a punk band through like high school. Then I discovered bluegrass around late high school into college years, and then just kind of ran that way.
That's the story of a lot of people. It's
Oh
very,
my
it's
gosh,
very
the
interesting,
punk
man.
influence behind a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think who I was talking to. Oh, the banjo player from Devil Makes Three, Cooper.
Oh, cool.
He loves punk music, and I mean, he even showcases it in the show. You can just tell from the get-go. But it's like the most punk rock thing you could do is go to these house shows, show up, and everyone's just picking and jamming.
Yeah.
It's like that is like bluegrass when Bill Monroe came on the scene doing that hard, fast driving stuff. That was almost like a sin. It was scaring everybody in the community.
Yeah.
It was so fast, hard driving, good music. It was like, man, this is punk rock early days.
Yeah.
It's a weird kind of thing, but maybe just getting older, so I like, slowing it down.
Yeah, you toned it down just a little bit.
You'll have that.
I don't know. I might mosh during your set.
Let's do it, man.
That's great. Oh, I know what it was. How'd the song you guys did, Lowdown, with Tyler Childers come about?
Yeah.
That was a great song all the way through.
Yeah, it's been a great song for us. that song was, Tyler. We've known Tyler for a while. We met him in Lexington, Kentucky. Around that scene, he would come out to our shows, or we had a buddy that would bring him to our shows, and he would do like tweener sets, or like we'd get him to open up for us, just him and a guitar, because the first time you heard him sing, you're like, holy crap, this guy needs to be heard by people. So we gave him any opportunity we could. But so he would come to Asheville, and he would stay with either Jesse or Robert, and I think he was staying with Jesse after a show he had done there, and they just wrote it one morning, I feel like, and kind of just set it aside. And we didn't even think about it until like a few years later when we were making our record, to like, it'd be cool if we got Tyler in to sing half of that song. That'd be, he's got such a great voice, it would sound really good with the rest of our band. And so he was gracious enough to come. This was like right when he was first starting to blow up, so he was still available to come do something like that.
Yeah.
He came down and came to the studio and crushed it. We had recorded the backing track, but
I think he did it in 2 takes, man.
Yeah, 2 takes.
So funny.
Wow.
And he was, and it's just been, so like we did that song, and then he blew up, and so people latched on to, discovered us through him, and it's just been a really great relationship, and it's so cool to see someone so talented and just like undeniably such a great songwriter and singer get the success that he has. And but that song, Jesse, our banjo player, was the one who wrote it with Tyler, so I can't speak to how they came up with what the inspiration was, but I have an idea. From a particular, well, not a particular, from any number of late nights spent wandering around Asheville.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I saw, I'm thinking of the music video that was put out there. Well, not a music video, a live show at the Red Rocks, you guys. That was like a show to be at.
That was a bucket list show for us, man. We're so thankful that he included us on that bill, just to be able to play that stage, to say we've played it.
Yeah, every artist dream, I think, to play at that venue for sure.
No doubt. I hope to get back one day.
I think that's what finally made like some of my skeptical family members like, I dropped out of college to join this bluegrass band, and they're like, "What are you doing that for?" And I'm like, they finally shut up when I was like, "Yeah, I played Red Rocks," and they were like, "All right." And some of them didn't know what Red Rocks was.
My mom had no idea what Red Rocks was.
Exactly.
No, she was like, "What's that?" Oh, I'm playing Red Rocks. Where's that?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
We got Red Rocks in the backyard. What do you mean?
Philip, is that a casino? What is that?
Casino. Yeah. That's great.
But yeah, that was an epic night, man.
It was.
Yeah, I'll never forget it.
Nope.
Yeah, because that was those guys' first time at Red Rocks as well.
Yeah.
Oh, was
so
it?
I mean, just like the
was...
raw pin-up energy was apparent.
Now, I haven't been to the venue. It's a long way from home, but it's going to happen one day.
You should, man. You got to.
Yeah.
Are the acoustics as good as they say, as far as that stuff like bouncing off the rock, or is that more just chitter chatter?
I feel like I've only been to 2 shows there, and the acoustics were great for those, but I imagine, as with anything, you gotta have the right sound guy.
Yeah.
But it was great for us that night. Felt great on stage, but you can definitely hear it coming off the walls a little bit. But you can't get when the lights of the stage are shining on you only see about the first 12 rows. You can't get like the full
view.
spectrum unless the house lights come up on it. But sound-wise, it was great, man.
Dude, sonically, like when we showed up for sound check, obviously there's nobody up there, and I remember I hit like my first note, and I heard like 7 notes coming back at me, and I was like, this is gonna be awful. I was like, my kneecaps started shaking and stuff, but then, like when we went out there and played the show, we were fortunate that like it was almost full already, and it just felt like we were in our living room sonically on stage. It was so cool because like all those bodies, they absorbed the.
Oh man.
Yeah, and like Phil said, thankfully you could only see a couple rows, and then they turn on the house lights like after your set, and you're like, whoa, there's a lot of people.
What would you say the best gig you guys have played? Would that be up there, like the most memorable? Like,
That's up there, man. If not the one.
be up there singing and having like goosebumps the whole time trying to perform.
Yeah, it felt pretty surreal, you know.
First time on the Opry was a big one for me.
Yeah, the Opry stage is pretty cool.
That was cool.
Ryman or Opry?
I've only done the Opry. You guys did the Ryman.
We
one
played the
time before
Ryman.
me,
That
yeah.
also is
Yeah.
amazing experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there on New Year's Eve to see Sierra, and
Oh, killer.
it was a great show. Old Crow Medicine Show was there. But
I bet that wasn't any fun at all.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve there is a madhouse.
I wish those guys would lively up.
Yeah,
That
they're
old
so
crowd.
bland on stage.
Oh my gosh, be doing backflips next, man. Crazy.
We just played a show with them at the Caverns
Oh, another great
a
spot.
couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Heck yeah. So we should probably get back to the record a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, man.
What are you are you releasing another song here soon, or is it?
Yeah, we're doing. So we have 4 singles that are going to come out ahead of the record. We've released the title track, and we'll do one each month. So this month we have another song coming out. I want to say it's like the end of the month, 29th maybe. But yeah, going to release 4 singles and then drop the whole record on October 7th. So it's little teasers here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music videos with them?
Yeah,
The
working on
the
that
whole
now.
shebang?
Yeah, we were lucky enough to get this record on with New West record label out of Nashville, and they've been super helpful about getting us on top of doing videos. And 'cause that's something we've just never really done before, like a
Yeah.
specific music video. So looking forward to getting those out, and looking forward to working with the New West team on the rest of the release.
Yeah. I like that label. It seems like they got their heads on straight.
Man.
They got a great roster, man. It's
Yeah.
like so eclectic and like, but yet everybody kind of fits together in this kind of way.
Yeah. Who do you this was a personal question I was thinking I wanted to just kind of know is who do you think is out there really just killing it? Like who you're like, man, this group or band or artist is just on fire.
I mean, Billy Strings.
I knew you were gonna say it, man. I
Who-
knew you were gonna
I
say
mean,
it.
who can deny that, man? He's like doing things with
ridiculous.
Bluegrass that nobody ever thought possible.
Yeah, he's
The
breaking
size
barriers.
of the show, yeah, the size of the shows he's playing, the people he's collaborating with.
It's a 4-piece bluegrass band.
It's a
He's-
4-piece group.
Well, now it's 5. I saw that. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, yeah.
you know, there and it's a acoustic bluegrass band selling out stadiums
It's
and
amazing.
amphitheaters. Like
It's
I
great.
lot scene. You know, they got a lot scene. It's so cool to watch.
Yeah.
It's great when you like tell someone that maybe not familiar with this kind of scene and tell them like, oh, you're like bluegrass. You're like, well, so is my grandma. I was like, no, check this guy out, man. This generation is bringing it all in. You know,
Yeah.
like everyone's welcome, and it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not just your grandma's music.
Yeah.
And he's bringing new eyes and ears to the genre that would not see it or hear it otherwise, and it's benefiting everybody in the genre.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll get people who like saw the video of Billy Strings sitting in with us at the Station Inn, and that's how they find out about the band, and then they're
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah,
know,
just
big
like
time
that.
fans now. It's very cool. It's helping the whole genre.
For sure. Yeah, what I really appreciate about Billy is not only does he do new wave jamgrass stuff and mixing, like he had a song that had hip hop in it, and, you know, doing whatever.
Yeah.
But he also has traditional style.
Very
stuff
much
too,
so,
and
yeah.
like paying homage to somebody like Doc Watson or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I really like the blend. He's doing both.
With a amazing light show.
Crazy light show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those
Ralph
guys-
Stanley with a light show.
Yeah. Those
Awesome.
guys are so humble too. It's very cool. Very cool. So I would say, I mean, Sierra is another one that's just blowing it up,
Yeah.
and rightly so.
Yeah.
You know, like
She's just undeniable, man. Like, you hear her voice, it's like a laser or something, man. It's just like, yeah.
I told her
So
she's
much
going to win
soul.
some sort of vocalist of the year,
Oh, yeah.
Grammy or something
Yeah.
crazy, a big achievement award, and
If she
if
doesn't,
she
it's
keeps it
rigged.
up. But I don't know. She says I'm full of it. I don't know. Speaking of Ralph Stanley of the Light Show, I got to share this little story because it's pretty funny. There's a festival that happens here every year, 30 minutes away or so, maybe an hour, in Cookeville, Tennessee, called Muddy Roots. Have you heard of Muddy Roots?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's a blend of alternative country, but they'll mix in like folk bluegrass, or it's like this festival, but then you throw in some punk bands with it, so
Sweet.
it's very diverse.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
But they had Ralph. He got Ralph to play it. You ever seen a Ralph Stanley show where there's people mosh pitting? I'm not joking either.
My
They are
God.
really running into each other during
what
Ralph
year
Stanley.
was this, man?
Yeah, and it's their video.
I'll dig one up. It's,
Wow.
2015?
Wow.
Yeah, 2013? I don't know. It's
They-
crazy. It's like seeing a show that you've never seen. It's like, I
I'll
mean,
have to
they
go find that, man. That's hilarious.
very interesting. They'll have bluegrassers. They had like James Hand from Texas playing traditional honky tonk, like legendary stuff, and they'll be mixing it in with somebody like, I don't know, the goddamn Gallows. Or
Yeah.
I don't know if you know them. They're heavy as hell, but they're like a goth folk grass band.
Sweet.
Like, what is going on here? It's awesome. But yeah, I'll dig it up and send it to you.
Yeah, please, please, I would love to see that.
That's cool.
Well, it's been great chatting to you guys. October 7th
Seven.
for the new record. Keep your eyes, ears open for that. And yeah, it was great to meet you, man.
Thanks for
Thanks a lot,
having
man.
us, man.
Can't wait to
Appreciate
see
it.
the show tonight. And like always, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Send it to your mom and grandma and keep it alive.
That's cool.